Today, we're diving into a really powerful ancient story, a parable that honestly pushes the limits of what we think forgiveness is all about. It asks a pretty tough question. Is anyone ever truly beyond redemption? So this is the big question, right? The one that's at the very heart of this whole thing. And it's a heavy one. I mean, think about it. Can a man who has killed 100 people ever really be forgiven? Is there a point where you've just gone too far? Okay, so let's meet our main character. This is a guy who's carrying an absolutely crushing weight on his shoulders. He's taken 99 lives. But even with a past that horrific, something inside him starts to stir, a feeling of remorse, and it kicks off this desperate search for forgiveness. So he goes looking for answers. His first stop, a man who's known for being incredibly pious and devout. He just lays it all out there, all his sins, and asks if there's any way back for him. The answer he gets is just devastating, cold, hard, and absolute. The door to hope is slammed right in his face. And when he hears this, that there's no hope, that he's completely lost, he just falls into this pit of despair and rage. And in that moment, he kills the very person who told him that, bringing his grim total to an even 100. It feels like this has to be the end of the road, doesn't it? But here's the thing. It wasn't. Even after this, even after his 100th murder, that desire for redemption, for change, it was still there. That little spark of hope, as faint as it was still burning, and it pushed him to go find another opinion. This time, he finds a true scholar, someone with deep knowledge, and he asks the exact same question. And wow, the difference in the answers is everything. The first guy, the worshiper, he just offered a dead end. But the scholar, coming from a place of real understanding, he opens a door. He basically says, of course, who could possibly stop mercy from reaching you? And here's the key part. The scholar doesn't just give him some nice-sounding words. He gives him a concrete, step-by-step plan. This shows that real repentance isn't just about saying you're sorry. It's about action. It required a total reset, a complete change of his surroundings and his entire way of life. And you know what? The man doesn't hesitate for a second. His heart is finally filled with a sense of hope that he probably hadn't felt for decades. He literally turns his back on his old life and starts walking. He begins that long journey to a new land, a new beginning. But just as his new life was about to start, his old one came to an end, right in the middle of his journey. Halfway between the person he was and the person he wanted to be, he dies. So what now? Is he judged for all the terrible things he did, or for the new direction he was heading? So now his soul is literally hanging in the balance, and you've got this cosmic debate going on. On one side, the angels of punishment are saying, look at the record. 100 murders, case closed. But on the other, the angels of mercy argue, but wait, he was sorry. He was on his way to change everything. So how do they decide? Well, the divine judgment that comes down is pretty amazing. It's not about just counting up his good deeds versus his bad deeds. Instead, the command is simple. Measure the physical distance. His fate is going to be decided by which land he was physically closer to when he died. So they take the measurement, and can you believe it? He was closer to the land of righteousness. And get this, the margin was razor thin, just one single handspan. Some tellings of the story even say that the earth itself was commanded to stretch on one side and shrink on the other, just to make sure he landed on the side of mercy. So, what's the point of this whole story? What are we supposed to take from it? Well, it's packed with lessons. First, that mercy can be infinite. It's not for us to limit. Second, that your sincere effort, just taking that first step in the right direction, matters so much. It's also a powerful reminder to never, ever give up hope of forgiveness. And finally, that true knowledge is what opens the door to that hope, not just blind piety. And that really leaves us with one final big question to think about. This story isn't just about moving from one town to another. It makes you ask yourself, what does it truly mean to change?